Hey everybody, we're back with Off the Highway, and that good-looking gentleman right there is AJ Swoboda. He's the author of a great new book called A Glorious Dark. AJ, here's my question for you. I'm going to see if you can go down this road with me. How do you justify giving your life to someone who basically killed his own son? Like that's a really brutal story. It's a really nasty story. that
Mm.
that God is the sort of father who kills one of his children. So how do you justify that?
Well, the Father didn't kill Jesus. I killed Jesus. So it's a different question for me. Um, I guess the better question for me would be, how do I follow somebody who I killed? Um, Christianity is not a volcano. We don't believe in a volcano God. I don't believe that we believe in a God that believes that we have to throw somebody into the volcano for him to be pleased or appeased. We can talk about those are volcano gods. The God that we're seeking, that we're actually talking about, is a God who, um, from the creation to the recreation, simply wants to know us and walk with us and be with us. And um, for me, when I look at the life of Jesus, I don't see somebody that the Father killed. I see somebody that I killed because I couldn't stand the light. The light was just too bright for me. And so I don't know how I follow the guy who I killed, but I do. And I'm thankful every day that I do.
All right, I'm going to push on this one a little bit. For God so loved the world that he gave his son to be killed. Okay, God was fully aware of how the story was playing out, and yet God did it. And a lot of people, I mean, I think there's a lot of propagation that this is the story, that the father is sort of distant and angry, and so much so that the son had to be killed, and the spirit's sort of this impotent sort of mother figure that's off to the side who doesn't get a vote in the process or something. Can you respond to that narrative for me?
Hmm. Well, that's a really painful narrative, and one that I don't have a response for. I mean, if I try to dance around the painfulness of that story, I'm doing disservice to the story of Jesus, because uh, that there's so many emotional levels to that for people who've been
Right.
abused and actually hurt, that for me to sort of offer some cop out, I can't. But what I can say is that while the story of Jesus' death is incredibly painful and violent, um, I actually think if Jesus is going to love me for who I am, then I need to love God for who God is. And for me to say, God, I can only believe in you if it happens in X, Y, and Z, if it happens in this or this way, for me is telling God that I've given him a prenuptial agreement. God, I'll love you so long as dot, 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 dot. But I want to love God for who God is, not for who I want God to be. And if it's a violent account of God offering his child to us to be killed, it's a violent account, but it's a violent account of a God that really freaking loves me
Hmm.
and really loves the world. And while it's painful and violent, I can believe it.
All right. There's AJ Swoboda, everybody. His book, A Glorious Dark, which does delve into some of these difficult questions of faith and asks us to process them in fresh ways. And I appreciate that about you, AJ. Uh, this is Off the Highway.